Hi, and welcome to your Urban Connection. Remember, this is the channel that is often imitated, but is never duplicated. Now, today's show is brought to you by Squeegee Squad. Squeegee Squad, your high-rise, multi-floor window washing professionals in the Wichita, Kansas area. Now, uh, they also have a new service that they're offering, and we'll talk about that a little later on, um, for gutter cleaning. Okay. But today, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a great story for you, and I'm happy to bring it to you. And this is breaking news, just happened just moments ago. The jury in the Rudy Giuliani trial against defamation against two black defamation lawsuit against Rudy Giuliani for defaming two black election workers in Georgia. The jury today, just moments ago, found Rudy Giuliani guilty, and he was ordered to pay the victims $148 million. Now, the question is, Rudy Giuliani basically doesn't have $148 million to pay. At least that's what he claims. However, it remains to be seen just how much money Rudy Giuliani is hiding away from attorneys and judges claiming to be broke. Now, I'm probably sure that Rudy Giuliani does not have liquid assets to the tune of $148 million as of today. But I am assured that Rudy Giuliani does have assets totaling several million dollars. As a matter of fact, he's got a home up for sale right now for $6.2 million, I believe. So we know he does have some assets. It might not total or come anywhere close to 148 million. But I think the mere fact that this jury sent this kind of message to Giuliani and his buddies, including former President Donald Trump, that if you think that you can use black innocent females as targets for assaults, or maybe even death, by lying and spreading false rumors and making false allegations against them, but you better be willing to pay. You had better be willing to pay and cough up some dough. Now, these women were simply doing their jobs that they were hired to do back in 2020. When Mr. Giuliani, in his quest to retain and enhance his relationship with the biggest con man this country's ever seen, began to spread these conspiracy theories and make up lies and spread false information about this woman and her daughter who worked as election workers. Mr. Giuliani, Mr. Trump, and others began to spread false, damaging, harmful rumors, innuendos, and flat out lies about these women. They set these women up. These women, from the very day that Mr. Giuliani started these rumors, these women started receiving death threats, illicit phone calls, knocks on their doors, anything you can think of, threats of lynching, all kinds of stuff. These women were afraid to even leave their homes. The daughter said she was even afraid to give anybody her business cards anymore because she didn't know who she could trust. She didn't know who might have been sent by one of these lying con men, conspiracy theorists, people that were FODs, friends of Donald's, who would do anything and say anything to keep themselves in his good graces, no matter who they had to destroy, no matter who they had to disgrace, no matter whose reputation they had to damage and tarnish, and no matter who they had to defame. But they chose these two black women because they thought these women were easy targets. Mr. Giuliani even passed one lie. I'm not going to call it a rumor because it was a flat out lie that they had videoed of these women passing around vials of cocaine. That proved to be a big flat lie. What they actually were passing, nothing more than mints. That's right, mints. Now, how in the world can you take and make a mint into cocaine? This was nothing more than a fabric of some idiot, in this case, Mr. Rudy Giuliani, fabric of his imagination. It was a part of his strategy to destroy these women, make these women the victims of his conspiracy theory to rig an election that he and this idiot Donald Trump claim he should have won. I'm sorry. Mr. Biden received more votes in the popular vote and in the Electoral College than did Mr. Rudy Giuliani's so-called friend. But that didn't stop Mr. Giuliani from saying what he thought that Donald Trump wanted to hear. And what he wanted to hear was that the election was rigged. And he lost because it was rigged. And they had proof that it was rigged. And their proof lied at the foot of these two black women in Georgia. Not even taking into account the fact that they lost all over the country, and especially swing states. They lost the state of Michigan, they lost the state of Pennsylvania, they lost the state of Oregon, they lost Colorado, and many others. But they want to claim that these two women rigged the election and made Joe Biden the winner. And today, a jury said, Mr. Giuliani, you're going to have to pay for your lies, for your rumors, for your innuendos. And you know, the interesting thing, here a while back, Mr. Giuliani admitted that he made up these stories, that he lied on these women, that he said untrue things on these women. But as this trial started last week, Mr. Giuliani, for what reason, I don't know, I have no idea, Mr. Giuliani thought he would change his story and swore up and down he was going to testify and said he had no regrets about what he said because all of it was true. That was an idle threat. Because when it came time for Mr. Giuliani to take the witness seat, he was nowhere to be found. He didn't want any part of that because he knew he was once again lying through his teeth. And he knew that a jury was not going to buy that, and his attorneys were not going to have that because he was already determined to be a liar and liable for defamation. And this trial basically was just to determine how much he would be punished and penalized financially, okay, and how much he would owe to these two women. So therefore, he was not about to take that witness stand. He didn't want any parts of that witness stand. Now, let me say this. This is not the end, because naturally, Mr. Giuliani is going to appeal. Now, that is if he can find enough money to pay his attorneys. And that remains to be seen. But if he can, he surely is going to try to convince an appellate court to reverse and undo what the jury did today. And I say, good luck with that, Mr. Giuliani, because you're in so deep that no attorney, no matter how much you pay them, can get you out of this hole that you've dug for yourself. But your reputation as the country's mayor is what's been tarnished. Your reputation as a decent prosecutor, a decent mayor, a decent man has all been tarnished. You're nothing but a POS, a piece of you know what. That's what you are, Mr. Giuliani. Face it. Everybody knows it now. Even your daughter acknowledges that you're worthless, spineless, a liar, and a defamer. So let this be a message to Mr. Trump and any of the other MAGA people to think you can take an innocent, defenseless, black, female, or male and make false allegations, tell outlandish lies, defame people, ruin their reputation, make them targets of some of your mega friends, set them up to be harassed, threatened with telephone calls, awakened at night by strangers, total strangers, knocking on their door, all in the name of intimidating these people. And that's what you've been doing. You even went so far as to have and hire, I guess I could say, a black man, and I use the term man very loosely, and a black woman, who I use the term very loosely. So maybe I should say a black male and a black female to use as bait to intimidate this woman. And you thought you could get away with that. And that didn't work. They are both implicated and have been indicted and will face charges very soon and find out that their allegiance to you and their willingness to get in bed with you and Mr. Trump and lie like hell through your teeth to try to intimidate this woman, to coerce this woman, to tell a lie and say that she participated in the election fraud scheme. And guess what? That didn't work either. So you see, Mr. Giuliani, Mr. Trump, and all the others. You see, there's an old saying, God doesn't like ugly. And what you guys attempted to do was worse than ugly. And it's now coming back to bite you all in the you know where. Okay? All right, so I'm happy to report that story, ladies and gentlemen. It was a good outcome. You cannot undo the damage that has been done to these women's reputation, but it can give them a peace of mind knowing that they did nothing more than what they were hired to do. Okay? All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you once again about Squeegee Squad. This is the time of the year when the leaves are falling and those gutters around all these houses are being trashed. And that trash, those leaves and other debris, is clogging these gutters and allowing the water to not flow freely as it's supposed to do into your downspouts, and that water then flows out of that gutter on the ground down to if your uh, ground is unlevel, sometimes it can allow that water to back up against your foundation and do serious damage to your foundation. All right. So once again, I say to you, don't allow that to happen because those kinds of repairs can be very expensive. Right. So call the good folks, the professional people. They're licensed and they're insured. So you have nothing to worry about. Call the people at Squeegee Squad and get a free estimate on what it would cost to save you from having those expensive repairs. Okay? All right. So long for now. We'll see you next time.